Because sometimes, she said, people forget what patience looks like. His smile sharpened just a fraction. You're implying I'm being tested. She didn't answer. Silence could be agreement or ignorance, depending on how it was read. She let him decide which suited him better. He studied her face again longer this time. Not just her expression, but the lines around her eyes, the way she held her shoulders, the stillness in her stance. He was reading her history the way he read rooms, looking for tells that betrayed experience. You've seen this before, he said. It wasn't a question. Her heart thudded once, hard enough that she was glad his hand wasn't still on her wrist. She shrugged lightly. People drink, she said. Sometimes they shouldn't. Another half-truth. The safest kind. The glass hovered again, suspended between intention and outcome. The room felt like it was leaning forward now, even if no one else sensed it consciously. The music ended and restarted on a new track. The door opened briefly, letting in a rush of cold air, and a pair of unfamiliar faces that quickly decided to sit far away. The Mafia boss inhaled, bringing the glass closer to his lips. His eyes never left hers. This was the breaking point. The moment where anticipation either collapsed into action or diffused into nothing. She could feel it tightening around her, compressing every possibility into a single narrowing path. She thought about stepping back. About pretending she'd misunderstood everything. About letting the night take its course and dealing with the aftermath the way everyone always did. She didn't move. The man with the phone shifted at last. He glanced up quick and sharp, then back down. His fingers tapped once against the screen. That was it. That was the tell. Too deliberate. Too rehearsed. The bartender spoke before she could second-guess herself. You don't usually drink this late, she said, pitching it as casual observation. The Mafia boss paused. His eyes flicked to the clock on the wall. Back to her. Back to the glass. No, he agreed. I don't. Another silence. He lowered the glass fully now, setting it back on the bar. Ice clinked softly. The sound echoed in her chest like a held breath finally released. Relief surged through her, sharp and dizzying. It was premature. She knew that even as it washed over her, moments like this were never endings. They were transitions. He picked up the folded note again, tapping it lightly against the bar. Smile, he repeated. He smiled wider for the benefit of anyone who might be watching. It was charming. Disarming. The smile of a man enjoying his evening. Then slowly, deliberately it vanished. Not replaced by anger. Not replaced by suspicion. Just gone. The absence of it was louder than any shout. And the bartender understood, with a cold certainty that settled deep in her bones, that whatever she had just set in motion was far bigger than a single drink, and there would be no leaving this night behind untouched. The absence of his smile changed the air more than the grab ever had. It wasn't dramatic. No one gasped. No chairs scraped back. But something essential withdrew from the room, like warmth pulled out through a crack in the wall. The bartender felt it immediately. She had lived long enough knowing that when powerful people stopped pretending, reality sharpened. He didn't look angry. That was the mistake everyone made. They expected anger to announce danger. Anger was loud. Anger burned energy. He conserved his. He turned the glass slowly, fingertips brushing the condensation ring it had left on the bar. He didn't wipe it away. He didn't acknowledge it. He let it exist, a quiet marker of what had almost happened. You noticed something, he said. Not a question. A placement of a piece on the board. Yes, she said. Another piece placed. He watched her hands. People always watched hands first. They told the truth faster than mouths did. Hers were steady now. Not relaxed. Steady. That mattered. You noticed something, he repeated. And instead of forgetting it, you decided to involve yourself. She tilted her head slightly. A neutral gesture. Curious, not defensive. I poured the drink, she said. That makes it my responsibility. He almost laughed at that. Almost. The sound didn't leave his throat, but she saw it register. A flicker of amusement at the edges of his eyes. Responsibility, he said softly, is a flexible concept. I know. That earned her a longer look. Not suspicious. Interested. The man with the phone was very still now. Too still. He had stopped pretending to scroll. His screen had gone dark. His reflection in the mirror behind the bar was sharp, focused, alert. He knew something had shifted, even if he didn't yet know how badly. The Mafia boss leaned forward, forearms resting on the bar. He closed the distance between himself and the bartender deliberately, forcing her to decide whether to retreat. She didn't. You didn't spill it, he said. You didn't warn my men. You didn't call attention to it. You slipped me a note. Yes. Why? There it was again. Why? He wasn't interested in mechanics. He was interested in motive. Because anything louder would have put us both in a corner, she said. And you think I avoid corners? I think, she said carefully, that you prefer choosing them yourself. That one landed. She felt it in the subtle shift of his posture, the way his shoulders relaxed a fraction. Respect, she realized, didn't come from fear. Came from accuracy. He reached out again, slower this time, and took her wrist once more. Not to restrain her. To feel her pulse. She didn't pull away. Her heart was beating faster now, but not erratically. He felt that too. He was reading her the way he read ledgers, the way he read men who sat across from him thinking they were prepared. Fear, he said, almost conversationally, is useful. Panic is not. I'm not panicking, she replied. No, he agreed. You're calculating. His thumb pressed lightly against her pulse point. Not enough to hurt. Enough to remind her that he could. Her skin prickled, but she kept her gaze level. You know, he continued, that interfering once is a mistake. Interfering twice is a declaration. She met his eyes. I'm aware. Then say it. Say what? He leaned closer. What you think this makes you. The bar seemed to recede even further, sound draining away until the space between them felt sealed off. She was acutely aware of how visible this moment might become if anyone chose to look directly at them. How invisible it still was because no one dared. A liability, she said. That was the correct answer. He smiled again, but this time it didn't reach his eyes. Liabilities, he said, are removed. Yes. And yet, he went on, you're still standing here. She allowed herself the smallest shrug. You haven't decided what I am yet. Silence stretched. He released her wrist again, as if satisfied with the measure he'd taken.